I don't know when the last time you heard me was, but I just realized I had my mic muted for like last 2 minutes. Hopefully it wasn't longer than that. Just to reiterate, I picked up Black Hole here because I couldn't decide between the two cards, like the Vent plus apply to Vulnerable and Weak, or the Black Hole, but this one's uncommon, so we're less likely to find it later if we don't pick it up now, which means that was the factor that made me change my mind. As for combat, I don't think we deal with grazing very well, because like most of our cards cost like 2 mana, so I'm not really looking forward to fighting Marisa. So that means I pick rather than go random. And if I'm going to pick, like, we have a very defensive deck that doesn't need to play a ton of cards per turn, so I feel like Saki is actually a pretty easy boss to get here. As for this, we don't have that much money, so the shops are not really interesting, and we're very healthy with almost a spell card. So these two combos should give us the spell card, and that means I'm just going through this path. Okay, this is just a start reactor. Technically, I don't actually need to block because I have the grace, but you know, just a good practice. Not getting to block much here, huh? Is there any way this is 16 plus 10, 26, 31? I'm not killing any of these, no matter what I do here, so let's just go ahead and block a bit and go for the top one, since that's the one we want to remove quickest. Okay, so Shooting Star plus Crossfeed gets us a kill here. Actually, maybe I should have just inverse beamed instead of Crossfeed, because that wasn't enough to generate any dark matter, so I kinda just lost my heat for no reason. Here though, I do get quite a lot of heat off of it, because I generate dark matter first. And our next crossfeed should be quite lethal. Though it doesn't seem like it's going to come to that, because we just have lethal right now. Another crossfit's interesting, so's the ignition here, or just powerful AoE card. Considering our crossfit, the ignition is actually quite tempting. Or maybe I could just go double crossfit, because these are probably like more effective the more copies of them I have, assuming I have payoffs. Because one of them generates heat and dark matter, which means the next one's generating even more. And I can use the heat from one on venting with the other one. It's sounding better and better the more I think about it, honestly. Because okay, the ignition though, I do have the Tengus Fang. So it's rather like possible that I can just get away with igniting for a big X on every fight. Just get a bunch of dark matter and a bunch of heat. Oh, but if I get too much dark matter, I'm going to clog my hand to the point where I can't roll my entire hand anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter as much. Yeah, let's just go double for crossfeed. And if I can upgrade them both, they're going to be very good together. Okay, so at the very least, we're going to Cloak of Stars here. And now it's basically... Oh, it's basically nothing. I don't have to block because of Grace. Still, the Dark Matter I do want to have anyway, but I didn't think about it. Forgetting my exhibits is one of my most common mistakes, I feel. Okay, so yeah, this is what I meant with the crossfits here. These are going to generate quite a bit of... like, the first one's going to generate 24 heat, which means the next one deals a lot of damage. I am taking 13 though here if I block, which is the shame. So I am going to go ahead and block instead, but you know, it would have been a very cool play if I could actually make it without dying. That is one of the biggest reasons why we don't want to upgrade our crossfits. I feel like playing them together is extremely effective. Okay, so we get rid of the Rabbit Trickster here. Well, we actually had enough heat that the last shoot was unnecessary, so maybe I should have just thrown it on the Doll of Neru. But at this point, we are fully set up for blocking thanks to the Black Hole and the Shooting Star that got pulled. So we should be fine the rest of the combat. Yeah, we keep discarding our Dark Matters, which is the idea. And now we just go ahead and crossfeed, Inverse Beam, and the heat would finish off the fight, but no reason to wait. Okay, so Starlight's yet another hybrid card here. Heat, block, Dark Matter. Barrier once upgraded. Yeah, this just seems like a perfect card here. Not interested in CP Miasma. Already mentioned why I don't want everything burns right now. So yep, Starlight is very good for us. Well, let's go ahead and upgrade one of the crossfits like I mentioned. And this is looking like a very powerful hybrid build here. Because we're gonna have one Grace next turn still, so aggroing Aya here, definitely worth it in my opinion. Nothing else we could really do with that hand on turn 1, but at the very least, taking her attack here is going to help. And we actually get to go ahead and Starlight to generate both heat and Dark Matter. Gain the 10 block that we are going for the 10 damage we're going to take, because we only have one Grace rather than 2. Star Reactor, just so we have it set up. And the crossfeed here is going to generate both extra heat and extra Dark Matter. Sadly not actually damaged because of the Grace, but you know. And now we can actually deal damage, but we're going to be taking quite a bit ourselves, huh? And this is only 8, sadly. Yeah, our Black Hole seems to have so much density that it sticks to the bottom of our deck. Let's get some Dark Matter, get rid of the newspaper. I have quite a bit of Dark Matter at this point, don't I? I have 4 of them. I guess I could get rid of 1 here, just in case. Don't want another hand clock disaster to repeat. There's a fully block here. Get rid of another one, just in case I can. Oh, I should have gotten rid of this one though. It is not retaining. Only retains for 1 turn after all. This is quite unfortunate because I don't have that much, like that many ways to get through the Grace. And if I spend 41 heat for Gracing, I'm going to be quite sad. So the first, we are going to be generating a lot of heat right after though, because we're going to generate a lot of dark matter. So I would be taking some damage here. Maybe I just supernova. Supernova, inverse beam, crossfeed. That feels kind of bad though, because I could just blow away if that was my issue. Yeah, let's just block here. What are we getting after actually? Bunch of dark matter. And the shooting star. Maybe we could just let our heat do it at this point. We're generating a lot of it. Yeah, let's just try and slowly whittle her down. I think we're fine with that. So we crossfeed, generate a lot of dark matter, and now our dark matter is generating a ton of heat, up to 70 here. And I just realized I just clogged my hand massively because all of these retain. So let's get rid of the nuts. Okay, I kind of wasted a bit of damage because I could have played like a shooting star into inverse beam to deal 10 if I had my black mana still. Now that it's too late, I kind of want to get rid of some dark matters because I don't want to have too many in my deck and end up drawing way too many of them. Thankfully though, the Black Sun here actually finishes the fight, so we don't have to worry about that. And we get to keep our spell card. Oil, very appropriate for Utsuho. Is more fuel. We don't need oil because nuclear is just much better, but you know, it's nice to have as an exhibit at least. Okay, so plasma burn, more heat generation and venting. I think we have enough with the double crossfit, honestly, as long as we don't bloat our deck too much. Then gravity distortion here, weaken and AoE, has mass to gain energy. Doesn't look too bad. Not sure it's good enough to take though, because our AoE really is the heat we already generate. Upgrade is too weak though, which is quite useful. And the pull on giving us energy could be great as well. We do have our black hole after all. I guess it's good enough to take, I think. I hope it is anyway, because I'm picking it up. Ignore the fact that Peony Stone would be great. We cannot take it because we want to go to Act 4. I don't have that much money, so at the very least I'm just going to the gap path, and once I get there I'll decide what else to do. Okay, so maybe the AoE card will come in handy now? It will actually. Quite nice to pick it up then. Yeah, instantly rewarded for it. Oh, I love that graphic. It's not one that many attacks use, but every time I see it, I get kind of happy. So yeah, don't really have to worry about these attacks because we have the Grace. And we do have Shooting Star here, so Crossfit is actually going to generate some heat for us. And this is a rather easy kill, I believe. We get the kill on the Black Kadama. Oh, we didn't have Dark Matter. I'm an idiot. I thought the Crossfit was going to generate some heat for us, but we actually didn't have Dark Matter yet. So I guess this is a misplay that costs us 6 HP here. Well, since we're already on it, so, like, might as well, you know, get some oil money. Oh, the Black Sun triggered anyway. Oh well. Not interested in these two. Maybe Ignition, because our Dark Matters are statuses. I kinda want to upgrade the crossfit, but maybe we can upgrade this instead right now. If the elite combat goes well, because we do have actually not that much HP. Who is it? It's the 3 Fairies of Light? Yeah. Against 3 Fairies we do have our AoE card. And the Ignition is actually good against them as well. Because we have to turn to do our thing before they attack us hard, I think, so... I'm willing to go at them without the... First turn we don't even have to lock, so I'm willing to go at them without healing. Yeah, let's pick up Ignition, heal up, I mean upgrade it on the gap. We even get the... Mistia here, so we already get to heal here. Utsuho, of course, is a crow, so she doesn't know how money works, so we're not paying. Clearly not my responsibility or anything like that. And we're just... Yeah, because the thing is, we kinda have a couple of upgrades we care a lot. 12 block every turn instead of 8 is pretty big. Obviously we want the CrossFit one. Third reactor would be nice, although it's not quite as much of a priority. Starlight, keeping barriers good. 2 less mana cost on Ignition is very good. Gravity Distortion, giving us 2 weak is good as well. So our upgrade budget is pretty constrained at this point. Thing is though, like Chirno also... Oh, before Chirno we still have the... Right, we still have the Fairies of Light. So I guess I kinda want Burst to kill the Fairies early on. So the CrossFit, yeah. And then I'll upgrade the Ignition on the gap before the boss. So which pattern do we get? The worst one in my opinion. I hate this one. Still, we actually get to do Starlight here. Pour some Dark Matter into a Supernova for even more Dark Matter. And now the CrossFit here is going to generate an absolutely massive amount of heat. So yeah, we have 42 heat, which is actually going to manage to kill Star turn 1. So that's actually great to see. And now these two are not really much of a worry. Wait, how do we have 45 HP? What the hell? Oh, Mistia. I forgot we just went to Mistia. I was wondering how the hell we heal if I upgrade on the gap. I got Mistia heal, yeah. Clearly, I am still a crow, so you still can't blame me for forgetting. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, 1 week, 30% damage reduction. This should go to 8, so this should take 1 grace from each of them and reduce the damage we take to 0. Yeah, perfect. We're slowly whittling them down with heat, and as soon as we draw like another cross feed, or even just trigger the Black Sum from drawing through our deck, we should be able to just finish the fight quite easily. Yeah, there's a kill here. Oh, we had the heat, didn't need to actually shoot her. In fact, if I shot this one, the fight would be over already. Doesn't really matter though, since she can't hurt us. She's going down to 3 this turn, and now the heat auto-kills her. Except... Oh, I thought this would have killed her, but I guess it didn't have time. But yeah, heat kills her as I mentioned. Crotango's Wing is like one of the worst exhibits in the game in my opinion. Because of how constrained paths are already. Being able to change paths is almost never relevant, and when it is, it's like, oh, I can visit one shop that I couldn't normally visit at most. So yeah. So, Nightfall, set Dark Matter until your hand is full, deal damage equal to 4 times Dark Matter added to hand. We already have some Dark Matter generation and stuff, so I'm not sure how useful this is going to be. It's not really going to be dealing a lot of damage very often, because our hand tends to be on the fuller side. Base level, this adds like 5 Dark Matter. and deals 30 damage, which is a lot for 2 mana. But that also means we're very likely to be clogging our hand super hard. So not super instant. Battle stance, temporary firepower, not something we're going to be using a lot of at all. And then we have Alpha Protocol, which I don't think is great, but I really want to use now that I see it. So basically this is, I don't know if we saw this on the other video, but it's like a riff on Alpha Beta Gamma from Slay the Spire. Alpha Protocol, Beta Protocol, Gamma Protocol. The idea being your first 2 abilities are like really bad. This does nothing for 2 mana. Discard 3 random cards. In our case, at the very least, like discarding 3 random cards could activate our pool effects and stuff like that. So it's not like entirely useless. Then the second one costs 3, still technically does nothing, exiles 3 random cards. And then the last one for 4 mana is actually the good one. Gain 50 radiation, which is 50 damage per turn to every enemy. Honestly, I really want to use it and showcase it, but I've lost so many runs already on Utsuho. I wish I could, I really wish I could, but I can't in good conscience pick it this time. I'm sorry. And we are already quite healthy, so now we do upgrade our ignition. This is actually going to be pretty good against Saki as well, because she does put quite a few of the status that will trigger certain lock, so that's gonna be a bit of extra damage. Okay, so that's a pretty good start. Black Hole plus Shiny Star, getting us a lot of free block already. Not that it matters with our Grace, but she does have times 4 multi-attack, so it is actually relevant. And that is enough block, so let's just hit her for 10. And we've already kinda set up quite a bit of blocking, which is nice. So at this point we just want to mostly get to ignition. Crossfeed here. It's going to generate a lot of feet, give us an extra dark matter for next turn. And just spend the mana for the oil. It's unlikely we'll actually need to intentionally spend mana on oil because of how much we're already spending anyway, but you know, better than not doing it, I guess. We're actually going to be taking quite a bit of damage this turn. At the very least, we can go ahead and grab it to Distortion though, to weaken and set up ignition. But yeah, this is actually going to be dealing 6 here. We do want a block card to be the first thing we play here, ideally, because of the silver lockdown. But we did get the black hole defense already, so it doesn't actually matter. It's not like we're going to do anything else with our turn. We do want to generate dark matter though for the crossfit. So let's at the very least use that block for something and get rid of the time lockdown here. And just yeah, crossfit. 19 damage, 40 heat now. This is probably too many dark matters, so let's get rid of like a couple of them. We finally get to our star reactor as well, so let's go and use this. Shooting star to remove our Grace. So I did mention I don't deal with Grace all that well, but Sakuya has Grace decent beat less often than Marisa, so it's not quite as big of a problem. Okay, so 30 damage, minus 30%. Is this better than blow away? I think it's about the same actually. And if it's about the same, dealing 17 damage is probably worth it. Yeah, it's one less damage, like one more damage I'm taking. You know, 17 damage for one, probably worth it here. Gotta be careful next turn. The silver lockdown is on 1 out of 10. And I think it's actually, I mean, out of 8 cards left. and indeed it is going up to 15 damage. So I guess we open with the boundary, but we're still gonna be taking quite a bit of damage here. And CrossFit, at the very least, is going to be quite powerful. So we do this first. This is going to generate us an insane amount of heat. And we should install last, because it was a card with mass for CrossFit. So, and at this point, heat plus ignition is actually good enough, and we're not even taking this damage. Oof. Okay, so I didn't mention I wanted blue mana on the last video. If you saw that, or if you want to look at it when I told you that was ideal for context. So the Magic Poker does give me that, but it also adds Sakuya's cards to the pool. Meanwhile, blank card just gives me access to every card. So I think this is a blank card run. And we didn't get it, but Fires of Hokai is actually a card that could eventually give us copies of that, and it wouldn't matter if they have exile. The card I'm talking about, by the way, for those who don't have the context, is Help Me Remember Satori-sama. The trick of the week at Hermit, though, we do have like a lot of cards we wanted to upgrade, so that is extremely interesting to see here. Crow Stole the Sun, that is inhuman hit generation for a hybrid build like ours. And Subterranean Sun is a very powerful ramping card. Start your turn, deal damage, and remove random card from the battlefield. So if you just generate a lot of tokens, this is just pulling all of the dark matter and stuff, both from exile, from the deck, discard pile, whatever. And just slowly ramping up to deal a ton of damage. So yeah, I like all four of them. I wish you could take all four of them. Honestly, I feel like Trick of the Week Hermit is going to be the most consistent one for us. Just because we needed a lot of upgrades, and that gives us the upgrades we kinda needed. So it is the one I'm going to take. But I'm sad I'm not taking any of these three, honestly. So, having taken the trick, I do want to go for as many combats as possible. So yeah, the thing now with elites is going for the elite worth it. If I get one less upgrade and it's hard to get expel on the elites, plus I could just get an upgrade on the gap as well. Doesn't matter for the starting path, I guess, though, because I can just go here and decide on the second enemy. Okay, so this enemy does apply quite a bit of pressure, so it might be hard to get the trick to kill, but we'll do our best here. We have Shooting Star, so this actually does something to help us. And then we just set up Ignition. We are at the very least going to have one Grace for her second turn, so we're going to need less block than usual. Just 21 here. Which is good, because we actually get none of it. So let's just go and crossfeed, Shooting Star, and deal some damage. Save the trick, because I still think I might be able to get it. We have to be careful though with the amount of damage we do, like end of turn and when we draw cards. So yeah, let's go ahead and block, weaken. At this point I feel like I basically can't actually attack her anymore if I want to have a chance at the weak Hermit trick. Which means it's pretty good that we got our good block cards here. By drawing immediately though, it's also gonna be hard, so Oh, not really, because we have the block sun hitting. Okay, so yeah, if as long as I can just keep blocking her, I am going to go for that. Hopefully we won't draw enough. Okay, we don't have statuses to draw actually, so that wouldn't be a problem. And we do get the trick here. We took quite a bit of damage, but this fight generally deals a bit of damage regardless. And we did get our trick here to an upgrade, so kinda happy about it. Just a blow away sadly. But every upgrade is an upgrade, I guess. Okay, so fucking wave isn't bad, and the upgrade is like 24 AoE damage if we pull a card with mass. But we are already not having an easy time just maintaining mass for the black hole, so I don't think I'm picking up. So I think bunker down is just the better option here. A lot of block and barrier, and later it just becomes high block defense. So yeah, this helps us a lot defensively. And if I take a lot of damage here, I'm just going to ignore the elite, go for the cup. Looks like we're going to be taking no damage in this combat though. I did this for the dark matter, by the way. I'm creating both of the purifier attacks. I did actually remember this time. It's just that the alternative was like dealing 5 damage, and that didn't seem worth it compared to getting the 2 dark matters. So at the very least, the blow away here upgrade is going to get us a bit of luck. However, in this situation, it's like I'm going to be taking massive amount of damage. I'm tempted to just spell card instead. Could be taking like only 8 damage here. Yeah, I'm just gonna spell card. Because it also sets up the trick here. So yeah, slightly sad that I had to spend the spell card here. But I guess that just confirms that we are going to be going to the cap rather than the elite. And we get to just go ahead and finish the combat here. Sadly, we do keep upgrading our basics. Mountain Dissonance is interesting. The upgrade mostly. Well, the base ability is kinda expensive. How many pull cards do we have? It's like the Gravity Distortion. 2 copies of Shooting Star. Doesn't seem worth it with our current build. I think it's just Blazing Ultraviolet here. A retain card that gives us energy. Should be very helpful for more energy intensive turns. Like when we play the bunker down, or when we want to combo our cards to finish off with the trick and stuff. So let's pick up the Blazing Ultraviolet here. And indeed, ignore the elite and go to a normal combat on the cup. Apparently we need to be putting more defense in our deck, because we're not drawing any. Thankfully this turn it doesn't matter because of the grace, but geez. And actually this doesn't actually do anything right now. I guess 1 damage is better than 0. Okay, so we do have bunker down here. And the ultraviolet would let us like blow away and then cross feed, but with how little heat we have, this doesn't seem worth it actually. Wouldn't even give us a dark matter. Well, let's just block. Just retain the ultraviolet for later. And have it discarded by the black hole, I guess. Starlight here for block and Dark Matters for the black hole. So this would be actually just 8 per because of the raw card, so this is 16. This is 13, which is a little bit less, but it does also hit the Sunflower Fairy, which I feel like is worth it. Plus, very soon we're going to be drawing the last card in our deck and shuffling, which is going to deal a lot of damage off the Black Sun. In fact, this is full block and more Dark Matters. Oh, they're not gonna get discarded though. They just entered our hand this turn. But yeah, we're going to discard our hand, and it's definitely going to be enough to kill the Keystone, I feel like. So I'm just going to attack the fairy here. Which I guess makes no sense, huh? It's like... I do the heat damage. I was about to say I'm not gonna deal any extra damage, but the heat does actually work. And now, Black Sun kills the Keystone, deals massive damage to the fairy. And if we draw any damage at all, we can finish her off with the trick. He actually drew too much damage apparently. This deals 25. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, I don't see any way we can actually get the trial here. I really want to upgrade so it's easier to actually pull off. Oh, this is interesting. We do generate a decent chunk of mass. Abyss Nova here, 5 mana, deal 7 damage, which is obviously awful. Except for each card with mass on the battlefield, it's gonna be dealing 7 more damage. So every single dark matter we generate, and not to mention we already have like 1, 2, and 3 cards with mass, so base it's already dealing 28. So yeah, it's just going to be getting more and more damage, and it upgrades to 9 if I remember correctly. Yeah. So yeah, Abyss Nova here, very very good burst damage card for mass. So 34 HP isn't awful, but I do want to go to a shop here. And the only shop I see is followed up by an elite, so I do want to heal instead of upgrading, it seems. And we go to Rinozuke. So the oil takes like 9 activations to give us more money than this, and I feel like I am going to spend like 45 black mana on the rest of the run. So definitely not selling the oil, and I was never even considering selling the Tengu. So we're just doing the classic exchange for Act 4. Went this way, by the way, just doesn't really matter which of the two I go to. But if I want a gap, it's because I need healing, which means I'd rather go to the event instead of a combat for the gap. And as for this, I guess I'm just doing Starlight into CrossFit here. We don't play that many cards per turn, so I think we can actually focus on Trickster here. Plus next turn we are going to have 1 Grace still, and she's going to be using the Orb for double attack, so we're only going to need to block for like 8, I think. Yep, Orb for 8 times 2, so it should be no issue. And in fact, the black hole already gives us the block we need, so just drop all my damage. Actually, not all my damage. I'm going to stop here, because I still have the trick on the deck, so that could be the setup for it. Hopefully I didn't generate too much heat, because that might actually kill the... Wait, what happened? Didn't I have Grace? I could have sworn I had like 1 Grace and 8 block, and I just saw it do 8 damage to me. Okay, so for viewers, that I'm probably like hallucinating right now, but I'll have to watch the video later to see what happened, because I could have sworn I shouldn't have taken damage there. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and get our trial upgrade here. I don't think the Orb of Deception is accurate, is it? Maybe it isn't, I just haven't realized until now. I forgot at some point. I could have sworn it's not accurate. I don't know. Yeah, see, it's not accurate. I have no idea what happened. I guess I'll see it on the when I watch the video myself. I wonder what you guys watching this are thinking right now. I might look insane. That's both quite a bit of dark matter and heat and damage even. And now we just get to... yeah, we did like 30 damage off the Black Sun, but we didn't really need to, because even well weakened, Abyss Nova here is dealing 60 damage. So yeah. Absolutely love the attack sprite. Not sure what to call it, but the visuals for that. Okay, so Space Scanner here is actually quite decent, because we do want to get through our deck for our setup, and it does generate us dark matter. I don't think the card is super efficient, but to be fair, it does do a lot of what you want when you want to have setup opportunities on Utsuho. So yeah, I really just wish the upgrade did cost at least like the same as Alioth, so 1 mana instead of black. But in this case, I do think it's good enough to pick up. And yeah, we're going for the shop. Ushimi Mara. So normally I already want to transform here, but considering we have blank card, so we have the chance to get off-color cards, and we have the weak hermit trick, so we are going to be likely to upgrade the cards, assuming we don't pick the ones that are already upgraded, because the status, the upgrade status does maintain itself. But yeah, we are probably going to be able to upgrade the new cards. So yeah, the transformer here is super good, and we don't really care about a small amount of max HP. So yeah, just pick these up, because well, I can't show it now, but well, picking these up means the transformed cards will be upgraded. And how am I doing on defense and offense? I mostly maintain the equilibrium, I feel like. So I guess just 1 attack and 1 defense, so let's get rid of one of these. Okay, not amazing, but you know, Genshin's Rambling is like a better normal block. Melancholy Eruption, just basically turn the attack into AoE and reduce the mana cost by 1. Give it to a card, and Guardian of the Sun is just... we're not really gonna use the Midsummer Flowers a lot, but you know, it's probably better than a basic. So overall, 2 very good upgrades, and you know, a whatever one. So the blank card shops are usually like quite good. We just get a ton of the different cards we can access here. However, I'm not sure I'm actually interested in these. Eternal Instantaneous could be the most interesting one here. But the thing is, I can't actually... oh, I can play it because I have black mana on the mana base, never mind. However, an enemy gains debuff, deal 9 damage to them. We apply, like, we have weak here, but that seems to be about it, yeah. That's a shame. Honestly, what I'm thinking of right now is maybe just like get the Ultramarine Orb Elixir as a safety measure. I really don't want to have a loss this run and just upgrade the Trick of Weak Hermit. We already got like 3 free removals of the Shimimaro event, so the basics here are not quite as much of a bother. So I'm a lot less tempted by the removals. And the orb elixir is a huge safety margin. Obviously, like, it does nothing on its own before you proc it, so buying this instead of something else might be the reason we end up having to use it. But it is just so much safety. I'm going to pick it up. Call me a coward, but I kind of want to post an Utsuho video, so I really want to make sure I at least have a good run. And yeah, let's go ahead, and we have 2 opportunities to do trick here, both on Nitori and the drone. We did discard the Blazing Ultraviolet, which gave us an extra card, I guess. Yeah, this is 5, so we did draw the extra card. It happened so fast because it was on the initial draw phase that I didn't even notice properly. Yeah, let's just set up some Dark Matter, some Heat, play a boundary to get rid of the Long Night the next turn. And remember, we're going to have to get through our entire deck to get back toward the trick. This just seems like a good opportunity to bunker down on Tianxin Rumbling. Just block everything, set up both barrier and block for next turn. And the Abyss Nova is a lot of damage, but it would mean we're taking a ton of damage this turn as well ourselves. So we do have to discard the Dark Matter, sadly. So let's see what we end up discarding with this black hole. That was just an inverse wing, not an issue then. And now let's start with Space Scanner. Oh, 1 red there, 1 red, 1 black. Okay, so they are dealing quite a bit of damage, but we already have a lot of barrier and defense there, thanks to the obvious defense because of the black hole and Tianxin Rumbling. So leaving the Dark Matter here is fine because, like, it helps with the crossfeed heat generation, plus it replenishes, so we have no issues with drawing it. Maybe I could just get the Cloak of Stars though for even more heat. The extra block could help us conserve some barrier as well. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these 3. Draw the Cloak of Stars, use it immediately. Next turn we draw the Dark Matter. Actually, even better, we don't draw the Dark Matter. Oh, I was gonna say we draw the Shooting Star, but like, we're going to generate Dark Matter of Cloak of Stars right now in the crossfeeds. So I guess this is actually hand clog rather than helpful. So yeah, Cloak of Stars. Double crossfeed on the drone. Both heat, damage, and Dark Matters. And I didn't realize we were going to have quite so much Dark Matter. So I'm actually, like, not drawing full hand. I'm only drawing 3 cards next turn. That was quite a big mistake here. Thankfully it's on the turn where, like, Nitori isn't going to attack us, so we're not going to be taking quite as much damage. But this was definitely a mistake here. Let's get rid of some of it. Shooting Star here. At this point, Nitori is doing the repairs, so maybe I just have to focus on her. Yeah, let's... because the drone's going to get repaired right now, so let's just go ahead and try and kill Nitori instead. Like, the camouflage does go on both, but the repairs are, 30 HP on this. So at this point she is less healthy. And now we really want to get... what was... yeah, Dark Matter. We really want to get enough damage on these to be able to kill them when we draw the trick. So let's go ahead and set up Ignition, see what we draw of the Melancholy. Hopefully not the trick, it was not the trick. So now we just full block, because I don't want to be taking 24 from Nitori. And the Ignition plus the Heat should be dealing quite a bit of damage. And I think as soon as we draw the trick of the weak hermit, it should be easy to set up for a kill. Well, I hope I'm right. And in fact, I believe I am. We have the Gravity Distortion here to leave Nitori on lethal range. And do our trick. And we get a free upgrade. Very nice. We already have our block from the Rumbling and the Black Hole. We do seem to have a magnet on our basics that's absorbing all the upgrades though. Because at this point, after the transformation, our proportion of non-basics is definitely bigger than the basics. So a bit annoying, but whatever. So we might be discarding the Ultraviolet here to the Black Hole. Yep. But we have double crossfit, and even a single one is good enough, so whatever. A Chopper, I do want to pick up the card first then. Okay, so White Hole here could be interesting. Basically more free block and adds Dark Matter to our discard pile. The idea being with both that and the Black Hole, we're going to be generating a ton of block per turn for free. This isn't going to be fed by the White Hole, because the Dark Matter is going to go to the discard pile, not the hand. But you know, getting 13 block per turn seems pretty good to me, so not really sure how much I care about that. High Tension Blade is also not uninteresting. This is very consistently going to be 35 damage after our first shuffle. And even before the first shuffle, like, it could easily get our Gravity Distortion, the Shooting Star, stuff like that. So yeah, it's basically which one of these two I like more, I think. Because I do want to add one of these. Super Giant isn't the worst ever, but we don't really have that much need for a huge attack at the point we're at, I think. Two extra cards is only like 10 extra damage. And the thing is, we're hopefully going to have most of our deck upgraded. So I think I want to get the White Hole rather than the Tension Blade right now. Yeah, you might think 3 block isn't that much either, but every turn it adds up very, very quickly, and it lets us just take a lot less damage normally. Oh, with the Chopper there though, maybe it was better to get the High Tension Blade. Forgot about that. At the very least, like, at this point we only have one basic attack that we can upgrade into basic defense, so the Trick of the Wicked Hermit should start hitting the cards we want soon, hopefully. So what does Raising Up for us here? 1 firepower for 16 max HP. Okay, this compensates for the Sukuna event, and it gives us quite a lot of extra health already, because we get the 16 actual HP, not just the max. And like, we're not really making much use of firepower. It would be good for like the shooting stars, but I think that's literally about it. So yeah, not super interested. Let's go ahead and pick up the beach here. So how interested am I in a shop? Probably not that much. Although removing basics at this point is quite valuable, just so they stop getting our upgrades, I think. I'm not really scared of an elite though, like, I'm full health. I have 150 power. The thing about this is that it also gives me 2 encounters though. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and that is because I can choose whether I want a gap or a shop after I see how much money I have before one. And it gives me an elite on both, so yeah, let's just pick up this buff. EMP device is okay here. This is actually a run where I could actually choose not to take it because I have a lot of hand clog with the dark matter and stuff, but you know, these combats make it quite useful. So I'm considering if maybe there's a way I could set up the trick immediately. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, plus the fact that it costs 4 because of the long night is going to make it quite difficult. In which case, let's just go for the easy thing here. Just get 2 dark matter into our hand, generate heat off of it, and get 15 block for the purifier, since this one's getting graced. Really, the Tengu's Fang just showing off its worth. Probably one of the best common exhibits in the game, in my opinion. Just off of how good it is for setup and stuff. Okay, so seeing this kind of makes me want to just gravitate Distortion into Supernova and shoot the Purifier, because this is a ridiculous amount of damage here that I don't have the ability to block. Like, even if we have the option to go to a gap to heal if we need to, this just seems like way too much free damage to be taking. Yeah, the spellcaster resource after all. I'm slightly sad that I have to use it on a normal combat, but sometimes these are honestly harder than the elites and stuff. So at this point, one thing I am going to do though is just go full defense. Heat is going to keep the purifier, and I want to get back to my deck. Probably exile the dark matters to make sure there's not that many cards in here, because I kinda want to get back to the trick, though it does seem rather unlikely I'll be able to. Actually, like, is it even possible? Because the Black Sun is going to deal, because this is like 5, 12, 17. Not with the heat. Nah, the heat is going to do it. That's a shame. Yeah, there's no chance we can get the trick here. Let's just go ahead and finish the combat. Because the heat was, like, it was very close just of the amount of cards the Black Sun was going to see. But with the heat we had generated, it was going to deal a bit more damage. So it wasn't even actually going to be close in the end. I just see Gravity well, and I barely even want to look at the other ones. At the end of Utsuho's turn, gain 3 barrier and dark matter. Kind of mediocre for 3 when it's unupgraded, but the upgrade to this is absolutely massive in my opinion. 5 barrier, and it knocks 1 off the price. Plus this and the... where is it? The Black Hole have a great synergy, as the Gravity Well puts dark matters into our hand, and the Black Hole immediately has targets to discard for the effect it has. So yeah, I'm just picking Gravity here. And 130, I guess with removals only costing 50, maybe we can actually see something decent in the shop. So let's go check it out. Yeah, actually Wandering Heaven is not the most uninteresting thing ever, because of the... Actually, yeah, we have trick. What am I talking about? Forgot I said anything. So Ignition here is set up for Dark Matter and Heat, but I believe I've already explained that I want to set up so the Ignition here isn't good enough for setting up, because the Dark Matters are like probably my least immediate need here. So yeah, quantum dissonance. Don't have that much to pull, so not super interested. I think like, yeah, I have like 4 pull cards here. These 3 plus the starting shooting start. So yeah, I think this is just an easy pick of flare up for the weak and the vulnerable, and removing one of our basics. Judgment of Sins could be interesting. Mostly, when upgraded by the way, just goes to 0. Things like making our Melancholy option free eventually, letting us retain cards that we're interested in, like retaining Crossfit and making it +0, so we can play both of these together could be very good. But I feel like flare-ups is always going to be very useful. The upgrade also means we can vent for a lot of damage, and that also gives us the money to remove basic here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and do that. I think the Bonder is the worst card in here. And we get the flare up, and we move on to the elite. Because we get Hatano Kokoro here, who I feel is generally a pretty easy elite. Don't be fooled by the way, even though these are wither at the start of the combat, they are summons, so they're not going to work for expel, non-summon enemy. So yeah, the trick here is going to have to work on Hata no Kokoro herself. As for our first turn here though, I feel like I'm just going to bunker down and keep the Long Night for 1 turn. Oh, we have to rest, forgot about that. So maybe Tianshin Rumbling is enough, they only take 2 damage. Let's see what we find of the Space Counter first. Okay, so finding the black hole here actually could be interesting. Plus there's the Shooting Star here, so we do have a card with mass next turn, and the Cloak of Stars can generate dark matter for future turns. So I kind of want these 3 to be on my next hand, which means I'm going to draw one of these, and seeing as the Abyss Nova is completely useless right now, so is the Crossfit, so we can just get rid of any of these and just draw the other. Doesn't really do much right now, but yeah. Just so we don't draw any of the 3 we actually wanted for our next turn's hand. And ideally, I'll draw some damage here to kill one of the Reiki. I didn't. So let's just go ahead and close stars, I guess. I am retaining like all of these, so let's get rid of the extra dark matters. But yeah, I have my engine here, both black and white hole, with some dark matter to use. So as far as blocking goes, I'm mostly set up, and at this point I just need to find the damage to finish off the enemies. Eruption here is very solid AoE, this is an extra card. And feels kinda bad, but I feel like I'm just going to Starlight again. Like Starlight, shoot, get rid of one of the dark matters. This isn't going to retain, so probably one of the new ones. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this. We got very little block off of the black and white hole because of the temporary spread down. They are affected. So the heat is going to be 3 damage. So even if we go all in with shoot and shoot on the Manreiki is not going to be good enough. But it's not like I have anything better to do. However, if I'm going to focus on one, I do want to focus on the ones... Actually, I want to focus on the attacking one, because the ones with status effects are more likely to attack next turn. And I'm actually more worried about the status effects than the attacks. So this one is more likely to apply a status effect, so I want to focus it instead. And my spirit's going to complete Hell. So yeah, these are going to basically give me nothing. I can at the very least like vend here for decent chunk of damage. Crossfit will kill one, flare up will kill another. And I guess I can have 4 block from the Guardian of the Sun at the very least. Okay, let's go ahead and crossfit here. The Dark Matters help it generate more heat. And flare up here is going to kill another of these. The one with the higher firepower, obviously. And now I just go ahead and get like as much block as I can, which is just 4. And start reactor for some heat generation. Feels kind of weird to me that the holes actually like get affected by spirit. I'll have to ask the dev if that's intended, just in case. Okay, so gravity well plus gravity distortion here. It's going to be some barrier on the weaken, with the weaken being the most important part, because otherwise we'd probably die. I haven't made the math, but I think we survive like this. And I really hope we survive, otherwise I'm gonna be humanly sad. This is like 41. This is 40. Please don't tell me this is. Oh, we have the orb elixir. Thank fuck! I was just tilting already. Still, this is already pretty bad, honestly. Wait. Oh, the wild hole triggers at the end of turn. We had a block that I wasn't expecting. Thank fuck. So we don't even use the orb elixir yet. I forgot this one was the end of turn. I'm so used to all of them triggering at the start. I'm so thankful though, honestly. I was already just getting depressing. Okay, so flare up here is going to weaken her and give her vulnerable. 13 is going to get blocked by the white hole, which means I can just go ahead and have his Nova here for inhuman damage. Actually, if I'd done Blazing Ultraviolet after the Abyss Nova, I could have done Melancholy Eruption and that would have been enough for a kill. And now I don't have a kill this turn, so I didn't draw enough damage, so yeah, that was definitely my mistake. So let's just block here, get rid of the Dark Matters because I'm accumulating way too many, plus the Blazing Ultraviolet also retains. Still taking no damage, thankfully. I have to say, like, every time I see that I'm about to die because of something, and I notice, oh, there was like 27 different things I could have done differently to survive. It just feels so frustrating because I think I'm good enough to play like Lunatic 7 most of the time on like the vanilla game, and on the characters I actually have like, very well practiced, like Patchouli. Like playing boost Patchouli for me is like insanely natural because of my experience with very similar archetypes in other card games. But Utsuho here is like the Giga Brain character. Like I have to think about so many different things and so many different possibilities, and I just get completely destroyed when I miss like 27 different lines I could have done to get to the target I wanted. So Dragon God Thunderbolt here is interesting, but it's not going to be useful against the boss. It is like 3 mana 24 damage and sometimes flawless though. But we already want to finish enemies with the Trick of Wicked Hermit anyway, so whatever. Let's not pick up anything here, I think. Yeah, let's forget about this. And the tape. Cloak of Stars and Guardian of the Sun, which is definitely better than basics. This is easily a drink triangle. We do have the elixir still. We need it, but I'd rather not rely on it if I can help it. Speaking of which, Oh, we have the Grace anyway. But yeah, I was about to say, thankfully we had the Weakening here, but you also have the Grace. Yeah, we do still have quite a few options. Let's just set up our powers here. I'm gonna play the Ultraviolet so I can set up the Start Reactor as well. Honestly, maybe I should have paid for the Weakening. I tend not to like doing so, but at this point it might have been the good option. So that was shooting star getting pulled. Since we already passed most of the drones, I feel like I should just spend at least one charge of the EMP device. But I have better priorities, actually. Let's focus first on actually doing what we want to do. And now that I have heat, this is way too much dark matter, so let's exile a couple of them. And since I have free mana, let's just do the third one as well. Yeah, the crossfits are very good for the damage and heat generation, but they do clog my hand quite a bit. So here's the white hole as well. The Vision over here is accurate, so I don't have to care about the Grace. But I would be taking it up the ass with how much damage it's dealing. So definitely going to go ahead and bunker down. And I guess just these are not going to retain. So let's get rid of one of them and shoot for a Grace. I know I want to have Dark Matters in the deck, but I've been getting like way too many, way too often. So I want to be sure that I don't need my hand space before I just accept having that many on the hand. So I do want to look for something useful with the space counter, but what would be something useful? Block of Stars, Foundry, Gravity Distortion. Thing is, I also want to set up Gravity Well though. Right now, how much am I taking? This is 23, I'm taking 17. So if I did Gravity Well, this would be like 3 barrier. I'm getting 5 block from here as well. So it would be like 9 damage. We can check what we get off Space Counter anyway, I guess. Okay, with the boundary here, I do think it's fine to do the Gravity Well. The white hole will get some more block as well, so whatever. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We already have... we're already gonna have dark matter from the Gravity Well, so at this point I am just going to be scrying it away. And I have to scry away the distortion as well. So I actually draw the boundary. Everything else can stay here though, I think. These are okay cards. And we set up a wall, play the boundary, and we won't be taking too much damage this turn. Only 2 in fact. Because this seems like we just simply have to drop a ton of block here. This is 42, so we already have enough now. I'm gonna go ahead and Eruption for some damage. And we did trigger the Black Sun as well, so that was like 30 damage. And I don't want to retain all the dark matter I see here, so let's go ahead and get rid of one of it. Yeah, maybe like the dark matter generation is a good thing most of the time, but at this point we're having too much of it because of all the dark matter generation cards we have, like the blocks that put 2 in our hand and stuff. I really wish I had some blocking here, in fact. Kinda getting hit by a lot. I have 22 block, I'm going to get like I'm going to guide 8 more from the white hole and the gravity well. So that will be 30. I guess I'm only getting hit for 2, thankfully. So let's go ahead and just double crossfeed. And then get rid of the excess dark matter in our hand. However, you just saw like that was like almost 100 damage and an insane amount of heat generation. So it's not like it's not worth it. It's just that, you know, we do have to clean up our hand every once in a while. And these 2 are going to get discarded. So we're only retaining 2, plus the 1 generated by Gravity Well. With these 2, that means 5 total cards, and we have space for 5 cards anyway, so it wouldn't be the worst to exile a couple more, just in case, so we could make sure, like, if we draw statuses, we're not just wasting hand space, you know, like this. But I did kind of want to deal some damage as well, so this is 42 again. 8 plus 5 plus 3 is 16, 26. It looks like we're gonna have to pop the elixir this turn. And in that case, so this is a 16. So I would be killed on the last attack anyway, which means getting blocked right now doesn't actually help me in any way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this before it turns my white hole and my black hole into garbage. And let's get rid of dark matter here. So yeah, I take 14 damage twice, down to 2 HP. Then the last one triggers the elixir. Oh, if only we shouldn't have the grace here. One thing I can do though, weak and vulnerable. Supernova into trick. This is 39, this is 32, but it's going to get amplified by vulnerable. So that does 100% kill her. Is it worth doing now? I have the block now, but what do I have around here? Not a lot of damage. I guess obvious Nova. I feel like using the spell card here for the upgrade is worth it. We got the white hole upgrade, which is nice. So astrologies here from the telescope would help quite a lot setting up. What do you call it? The abilities is finding our good cards, getting rid of the long night. So I do think that's the option we take. Misfortune, like Lunar Soul giving us 2 mana isn't the worst thing ever either. But we have quite a lot of high color costs. So yeah, I'd rather just go ahead and pick up the telescope. Okay, so see, these 2 are cards that I saw on my last run, and I love them both. So there's also like Prison Concerto here, which is very good as well. The Returning Breach I'm not quite as interested in. But yeah, Planetary Orbit, swap the draw and discard pile, deal damage equal to the number of cards swapped to each enemy. So basically, the bigger our deck, the stronger this gets. When upgraded, it deals double that damage. And Planetary Orbit pulls all cards with mass that are swapped. So doing this would very often give us like where is it? Extra card draw. 8 block, and I know I'm missing one, and 2 energy. So with that in mind, it's actually a super busted in our deck. Spatial run, just for reference, return 3 to 6 random cards with mass from exile to your hand. Deal 20 damage, except for each card with mass return you deal 20 more damage. So if you have all 6 cards with mass in exile, this is dealing 140 damage. So yeah, that is absolutely a huge attack for 4. And it is accurate. You do need to upgrade for him to not exile, but it is very good. However, the orbit here is just way too good not to take in my opinion. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick up orbit. So, kinda slightly worried about elite possibly, so I'm going to take this path. Gives us the option to go to a shop if we want to spend our money. If I feel strong enough for the elite, I might actually decide to go there. This shop here is not very well positioned, of course, because we do want to maybe buy a rare card from Sumereku here. So that's another reason why we might go for the elite. But, you know, I want to have both options open, because it's not like I'm walking around with a lot of HP right now. Okay, so we just love letter right now. I guess I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna have to use one of the astrologists anyway if I want to get rid of the long night this turn, so let's just use it now. Maybe what we draw is, like, useful. It isn't. In fact, I really wish I hadn't drawn this turn. But next turn we have some block and status to keep removing her stacks, so at the very least we can do this. And just crossfit now, I guess. Just to remove the long night. I guess I should have shot then. Yeah, that was a tiny mistake. Missed like 2 damage maybe. Because she still has like 4 stacks anyway, so... Okay, so I do want to use the love letter, but like setting this up gives us block for this turn and the next. And sets up our gravity well for later, so yeah. Now it's a lot easier to play the love letters. Still gonna have to Starlight though to actually fully block. Get rid of one of these, shoot for some damage, because I have the mana. So here's our trick, which we'll have to take into account. I can get rid of these. Let's just weaken, weaken vulnerable. Some more weaken for next turn. And just shooting star for damage. We are almost fully blocked thanks to the gravity well anyway, so... Okay, and planetary orbit here is actually going to be quite great, because it means the decks are going to swap, and the Trial of Wicked Hermit is going to be quite high in our deck, because it doesn't shuffle. So we're gonna have access to it almost immediately, and Abyss Nova here is still not dealing that much damage because she still has like a lot of stacks, huh? No, this is still like 100% worth it to use. So at the very least, let's do this first. Rid of dark matter, and I guess Abyss Nova for 50. Okay, we actually have to kill her pretty quickly. She only has 2 turns left, and she still has half HP. Yeah, we did get the Trick of Wicked Hermit, but apparently it's still too early. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it anyway for damage though, not right now, because I'm getting kinda desperate. So yeah, the most damage here is like Jin is trying to try into Trick, so kinda rough. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to kill her. Yep, that kind of sucks. I guess I'm getting a curse. None of these seem too interesting, honestly. Deep Memories in particular seems especially awful with how many dark matters we put into the discard pile. I couldn't make her happy. Oh god, not the Tengu. Okay, we do at least have Cloak of Stars here to take no damage just off of this. Actually, we're gonna take no damage off of the Grace, never mind. Let's just use the Astrologies and look for cards I'm interested in. Okay, so the trick here is actually already a kill. Because I'm going to go ahead and weaken this crow. And, sorry, vulnerable this crow. And the trick actually one-shots it. Which is already an upgrade, because those are not summons. Hey, we got this. That is quite a lot of damage, huh? So first things first, I do need to drive, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm going to get hit by the Apex Speedster no matter what. So the likely thing is I'll just obvious Nova this. But if I'm gonna obvious Nova that's still going to trigger the Speedster. So no pointing not drawing here. A bunker down might actually be the better option here, in fact. Because this is preventing 14 damage, this is preventing 30. So yeah, it's almost fully blocked. And I set up Indiscriminate Ignition here. Okay, so I do get to block the Speedster, so I can actually use my cards. Gonna space scanner first to see what I can find. I like Whitehall here. I do want the extra block. Gonna go ahead and get rid of everything else. And just start reactor. And just in case, don't want to have too much dark matter as usual. That was pretty good. Okay, so Planetary Orbit here should give us, thanks to the Shooting Stars, enough block for the Speedster and part of the Twingale. But it's also going to deal quite a bit of damage and even draws a card and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull this off. There we go. And we can even Starlight out for some extra block. Crossfeed first to actually use our Dark Mars for heat generation. And now I can get rid of some of these Dark Matters. This is doing 11, so this actually kills. The newspaper kill. Oh, I had the ignition anyway, never mind. Another black hole is definitely too much, isn't it? I am generating a lot of dark matter. I often have more than 2 in hand. Probably well alone already feels like dark matter for one of them. I'm going to risk it. I've been generating a lot of dark matter, so this could help not take as much damage because I am taking a decent chunk of damage. Kinda getting worried about my HP. Not worried enough to get a Moonscape though. Hate this thing, so... It is tempting, honestly. Just kinda tempting. $31 cards, it's already pretty big, so... And it could just be the card I remove. Screw it. I'm desperate enough for HP, I feel like. Let's go to the shop. Kinda worried if I go to the alley I'll just die. And yeah, let's just go ahead and remove the Moonscape here. This shooting star is like slightly interesting for planetary orbit shenanigans, but I feel like I'd rather just not have something in the deck that I only have for 1 card. Some card draw would be nice though. I'm pretty starved for card draw, I feel like. For actual card draw, not just filling my hand with garbage. Let's go ahead and pick up the play with water here. I do have an extra blue mana after all. And since I already have no money because of it for the Sumereko, like maybe one of these tools could help. I already have vulnerable. We just get this as life gain. Am I this desperate? I am this desperate, I feel like. Yeah, I am this desperate. So, what does Sumereko ask and what does Sumereko offer? Abyss Nova. 4 cards I actually don't think I'm interested in. Zero-point module could be interesting actually, but I don't think it's better than Abyss Nova. Not interested in the other two though. This is a lot of barrier. And we even get like free barrier off of the orbit as well with it. Does the damage from Abyss Nova like give us enough to be worth not taking the barrier card? I think it does, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm keeping Abyss Nova. I'm sad I couldn't get the barrier card there, but I think the Abyss Nova is worth what it does. So no money for shops, so let's just go and go for the gap. And worst case, we can just avoid the elite. Okay, so turn 1, 32 damage. Turn 2, these are going to be doing 60 damage. Graceable. Not graceable right now, by the way. So we have to get ready for that. And none of this is good enough. Worst case, by the way, I do know I have EMP device and starting here. If I find nothing off of the card draw here, I will use them. And I didn't find anything that actually is relevant for this. So let's go ahead and stun one of them. And fully block the other. And I really want to get rid of one of them before it screws me over. Let's see what else we can find. This isn't good enough. Abyss Nova does not kill. 10 block. So 18. Not very good. Mostly is like, does it make the crossfits big enough? Like 16 block to Dark Matter. This would be like 28 damage. If I do it after the first one. Doesn't seem like it would be good enough, honestly. Okay, so 16 hit. So this deals 18. Generates 2 Dark Matters. Oh, and it doesn't. No, sorry, it generates 28 hit, is what I meant to say. And this does not kill the Terminator. So let's instead try and look for something else. Space counter lets me keep looking. And the Dark Matter replenishes, and so does the first aid kit anyway, so I guess I'm getting rid of these 3 and just praying that I hit something good. Ultraviolet, not really. So I guess I'm just, you know... Oh, this removes the lock-on. Actually very solid. That is basically like blocking 9 damage. And I guess I'm just going for as much damage as I can here. Emperor's Beam. Get rid of one of these because I'm retaining way too many. And take decent chunk of damage suddenly. Okay, so bunker down here is going to be very helpful, I feel like. And then just Cloak of Stars is the most immediate block. Do I need that much block? 21, 16, so that is 37, 53. I don't need that much block, but it does help me maintain the barrier, which I'm interested in. So 2 black holes. These are going to be discarded, so let me just get rid of some of these. Okay, so Orbit here kills the small one, I mean the bottom one. And it puts 2 Dark Matters only into the drop pile, which means the Black Sun will trigger again next turn, dealing quite a bit more damage. Let's go ahead and do that. Actually, is it going to trigger now because I'm going to draw a card off of the other thing, which is going to be a Dark Matter? Yep. Yeah, that happened. I drew extra cards, which were just Dark Matters, which just made this cycle again, I think. That felt like it happened twice. Like, I shouldn't have done the Black Sun damage, should I? When the drop pile is shuffled, no, but that doesn't shuffle. I don't know. I'm kind of falling asleep at this point, so I'm not 100% sure I got what happened there. I'm just gonna hope nothing weird happened. Okay, so this is going to survive at 1 HP unless... No, it's just dead because of the... Yep. Oh no, that was the Black Sun. I thought that was the ability I have, the Indiscriminate Ignition. Okay, so doesn't matter. The heat is going to kill it. So I guess that's yet another round where I can't get the Hermit trick. I guess I overestimated my ability to get Hermit trick off here. So a nice power down on bad. Very solid defensive option. Who's our boss? Junko? Yeah, absolutely. Baby of Stone wasn't like awful either, considering I have a pretty big deck, so we're often going to have a lot of cards on our discard pile. So we got extra mana from the distortion here. I wouldn't have minded having the distortion for damage, you know, but not bad either there. Let's get the ignition out, so that could easily be a ton of AoE damage this turn. And look for block cards. Is Guardian of Sun good enough? I don't even need that many now that I think of it, because the doll is... like, this doll is going to get hit by the grace, right? Yeah. So let's look for something else to do with our mana. Crossfeed. Do I have heat? I don't. Eviction order, whatever. Biggest issue right now is like we don't have any dark matter, so who knows what the black hole is going to discard. Oh, shooting star into dark matter. That's pretty good. Thing is though, kinda have no actual cards at this point. Considering just doing the supernova for crossfeed. But I don't think it's a good idea. I do need to like start getting closer to finishing this rather soon, because the strong attacks are accumulating poison and my life isn't exactly super high. But for now, I'm not in too massive of a rush. I really wanted to do the trick here on one of the dolls, but not only is that going to poison me massively, it means I'm taking damage from not blocking. So if I do like boundary, I have the white hole still, so this is 8, so 24. This is 30 total, so boundary, that's meaning I take no damage this turn. So I could just shoot here, trial. That is 4 poison, which is likely to be like around 8 to 10 extra damage, I would say. Ah, fuck it. Hopefully I'll just be able to finish the combat in like 1 turn maybe. While weakened. Ugh. I know I put myself in this situation, but it still kinda sucks. Not just the eruption, that's a shame. Okay, so at the very least, I'm only taking poison damage at this point, because I'm going to Abyss Nova the yokai. The fox yokai, I mean. And the heat is going to finish her off from Starlight, or just the ignition. So this is only really saving me like 7 HP, is it? This is going to deal 4 more though. I can just heal at the cap, I guess. Yep. So Biznova here. Starlight, and taking no damage here. Prone attacks, I mean, I'm definitely taking damage from poison. Oh, I drew so many stars and stuff that the ignition killed her. Nice. Oh no, the black sun, that was definitely the black sun. That's why it did so much damage. I was wondering, because it didn't seem like it drew that many statuses. So both Devour Desires and Transmigration here seem pretty good. This is going to be basically heal 9 to exile like 3 Dark Matters or something. And Hieda just lets us go through our deck looking for good setup cards. The thing about Hieda is it's a bit counterproductive with our retaining defense cards. So I'm going to just pick up Desires here. So I'm not quite as desperate for healing now, but I do still think this is the better option. And with the spell card, I don't mind risking an elite here. This is likely going to be Raimo, right? Yep, Raimo. As far as I know, this is basically the default AP summons when she doesn't recognize the character. And so far, I haven't seen any mods, any mod characters yet do a boss fight for their character. I know, in fact, Sozid, if I remember correctly, is planning the Utsuho one, so looking forward to that. But yeah, for now, they already have quite a lot of work to do. So okay, so Black Hole already, probably like seeing this here. Not super interested in any of these. Let's keep drawing cards, I guess. There's a White Hole as well. Now we just need something to actually pull with the Black Hole. Which we do have 2 cards, but you know, these are going to get discarded anyway. Let's see what we get of the Melancholy. Ultraviolet's nice. This is probably going to get pulled and cycled. So let's get rid of the Amulet and apply Vulnerable here. And just shoot her, because we have the card and the energy. And Crossfit wasn't going to be doing much anyway. Okay, so that was like Rumbling and Ultraviolet. Rumbling's a shame, but whatever. So Gravity Well is quite important right now, but I also do need to find things that keep me from dying. I'm very likely to spellcard here, I think. Oh, Song of the Night Spire was absolutely massive. And then we have the Planetary Orbit. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of these 2. Have Song and Gravity Well now. Next turn I can do Ignition plus Orbit and deal a ton of fairy damage and stuff. Yep, Song here, absolutely goated. Set up Gravity Well. Exile the Shadow and Crossfeed just for, you know, 30 damage. And now we have reliable source of Dark Matter. So one of the black holes at the very least will have Dark Matter to pull every time. And we discarded the Planetary Orbit. God fucking damn it. Like 1 out of 8. I shouldn't have come for the Yin Orb. Like, we already have a lot of AoE, and very soon the Black Sun will actually trigger and destroy them. Or just, you know, some AoE damage. And weaken on Ikishiki, because Reimu did apply Amulet to herself. And that, along with Bunker Down, should be good enough to take no damage here. And getting a bit of fairy too. Oh, exactly blocking actually. That's nice. Okay, so let's devour here. We're healing. Another sound for block. We take he damage, so I guess I'm going for her rather than Reimu. I mean, damage more than Reimu. I appear to have like 200 different sources of damage. Utsuho seems to do that a lot this late. Regardless of how much damage he deals, it seems to come from many different places at once. So that was 2 Dark Matters. The EMP device is no longer useful, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Let's get rid of it, just do all my damage here. I kinda wanna get rid of Dark Matter just to be sure the Ultraviolet gets pulled and I draw an extra card. And let's just, you know, heal a bit. We'll be taking 9 damage, which is thankfully not that much. Reimu does get her firepower though, so we should be trying to finish this as soon as possible. Wait, the pull happens before the discard, so because I had my hand full, it didn't trigger? Is that what just happened? That feels kinda cheap, if that's what happened. Well, I guess I have to supernova to not die. And I hope it's good enough, because I didn't calculate it, I'm just hoping it is. Exactly enough. Well, not exactly, 1 off, but you know. And all of this is clogging my hand, so let's just... But yeah, thanks to the ignition, I do get rid of Eiki. And block Reimu with the other cards. So at this point, I'm hoping to get her down in HP. And then find my Trick of Weak Hermit, which is on my discard pile. Yep. So let's just do this and discard everything, I guess. Or Planetary Orbit. And now I even know where it is. It should be the last card I draw, or among the last ones at the very least. Oh, I'm a goddamn moron. I didn't want to generate that much heat, so I did this, and now I have 20,000 Dark Matters anyway. This one is 100% my fault. Not close. Okay, so I can get Bunker down here. Yeah, should be enough lock for it on its own. Oh god, half of my deck is Dark Matter. Makes sense, but kind of scary. I have traumas. Also, it's a lot of damage that Reimu is going to be taking that might screw me over on the trick. Okay, so I'm actually not going to be attacking at all. Kinda worried. For good reason, it seems. Yeah, so... this is actually enough to kill her, so I guess I have to get lucky and draw properly. Actually, it doesn't even matter how I draw. I shouldn't have exiled the cards I just exiled. I wanted to clog my hand. I actually wanted to clog my hand, so I didn't draw quite as many cards. I think I'm missing out on the trick again. No, with the appropriate... Let's go! With the appropriate card draw, she actually got to live at 1 HP. That's what I was about to say, but I interrupted myself as soon as I saw the Dark Matters. This is definitely worth the effort, and I'm not slowly going insane from it, I promise. So the Sunlight Reverie doesn't seem bad, but like, at this point, we've had so many times where my hand is just clogged to hell, and like, adding Flames is not going to help that situation. I feel like I'm just going to get another Ultraviolet, mostly because of the drawn pull. So yeah. INT, I'm a knight. Not interested in the Drain Diary, because that's the one where we get mana when we don't use defense cards. And well, you've seen our run. If you've watched this far, you know why I don't want that. Okay, so I discarded Gravity Well. Well, let's get the Gravity Well back into my hand, I guess. Oh, I draw first because of the pull, huh? So they happen in a different order than I expected at first. Wait, no, these are just Dark Matters. Shouldn't I have drawn from the... Wait, 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I discarded that, and I used the Orbit. So it pulls all cards with mass that are swapped. I got 2 Dark Matters from the start cards, the Shooting Stars, but I should have drawn cards from the... What the hell? Am I blind? Oh, the Ultraviolet's here. I couldn't find them. Yeah, I should have drawn off of these, shouldn't I? I guess I'll contact Sozid after this. Because if I draw the Gravity Well now, funny enough, I was mentioning how I wanted to upgrade this incredibly soon. It's still unupgraded. And it's relevant now, because I kind of wanted to Eruption to draw it and deal damage. But that's not going to be a possibility here. So I'm kind of just tempted to go ahead and Ignition and get rid of the Dark Matter. Just play it next turn. Okay, so thankfully I'm only going to be taking 2 from this. So let's start scanning my deck. That's pretty good. I want some damage now to set up Trial on the Crow Tengu. And none of these seems to be good enough for what I want. That kinda sucks. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to use it. I guess I'll just set up block. And start reactor. I can't start reactor if I want a Gravity Well, actually. So let's just Gravity Well. And between Gravity Well and the White Hole, I'll actually have the block I needed. So, not taking damage here. Bunker down, gives me barrier and block with a turn. That's... Oh, I didn't realize how long mana I was. I guess I'll just play the Ultraviolet. Distortion. And the Crow Tengu should die on its own. And eventually, hopefully, I'll get to the trick. Doesn't even seem likely though. I've really wasted the trick of the weak hermit quite hard off. So this is gonna be like 30 damage, most likely. I guess for now there's no harming waiting. But I'm pretty sure the Tengu, the Wolf Tengu is not living. Well, I guess the Vow of the Stars at least heals me, so it wasn't a complete waste. So, this is going to kill it, right? Yeah. So let's just wait, but yeah, this is just over. And it is wasting time, sadly. Yeah, that was the Black Sun damage at the end there. The Warp Shield doesn't seem too bad. The upgrade is good too, like the cards from Master Berry. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick this up. It's a Tori. I think Suggestion Therapy is probably good, like 20 options with one card. It's definitely things that are worth adding to a deck, I'm pretty sure. Absolutely not taking a third black hole. I'm already kind of regretting the second one, not 100%, but a bit. Wismot doesn't seem too bad. Or Water Blanket, I don't have that much actual card draw. Dedication either. Did I already have Ageless Dream? Or was it in another run? I don't have any Ageless, huh? I guess that's the play then. And I can go to a shop on Act 4. Let's just go ahead and upgrade. Where is it? The orbit here. It's like twice the damage on it. Is honestly. Oh no, the gravity ball. I forgot. Let's upgrade the gravity ball. Because the damage on the orbit is pretty nice, but gravity well is like the upgrade we've been waiting for all along. Speaking of which. I guess the Var Desire is going to be a bit wasted, huh? Actually, we can get Dark Matter then like this and heal a bit of HP. Okay, I think there's an interaction he forgot to code. Guess I'll report this afterwards. Not great. Let's see what we draw. Orbit is going to be massive. Okay, let's go ahead and play it then. astrology. And, well, I already know this is the ignition. Okay, let's weaken Clumpies here and give a vulnerable. Wait. This is... oh, this is round 2. Yeah, never mind. Don't even... ignore what I was about to say. Okay, so black hole, but I do have dark matter. I don't need both of them, I guess. Let's get rid of one. And get ignition. This is already going to kill the front ferry. And at this point I probably should get some extra block on top of what I have. Let's see if I can find something with astrology. Crush is interesting enough, I guess. Because I am going to Starlight and rumbling here. So this is going to generate a bit of heat and deal damage. You know, a bit. Did I clog my hand again? Not entirely, but quite hard, yeah. Yeah, definitely way too hard. Let's exile a couple. Not because they're gonna help now, because like they already lost everything anyway, just so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so heat and ignition is going to kill this one 100%. And I have enough block for the other two, so I'm venting on Clumpies instead. Oh god, I'm an idiot. I spent all my heat, so of course the heat isn't going to kill the bottom one. Thankfully only like 5 damage, but yeah. I wonder how it feels to look at this footage. Because I always cringe super hard when I see people making mistakes as obvious as the one I'm doing right now. Like, please be nice. Even when I cringe, I do it out of love. Kinda don't want our bit, but I kinda have to. Do I have to? Do we even have enough damage here to get Clumpies down to trick range without killing her? Because Nova's going to kill her, that's for sure. Ah, screw it. I don't think I'm going to get the trick off anyway, so I might as well just go for everything. Super hand clog. I wonder at what point I can stop blaming myself for hand clog and I can start blaming the amount of dark matter the Utsuho generates. I'll never stop blaming myself, sadly. Oh no, oh no, oh no. That was all 4 of them. Is it because I played Orbit? So the turn after they placed them there, I orbited? Is that it? Do the dark residues they place on the discard pile not get randomized, so when I play the planetary orbit I put them all together? Is that what fucking happened? I think that might have been what happened. So I would be taking around 1 trillion damage, so my only response to that is Fuck that shit. I'm guarding. Thankfully that ends the combat, because that could have been my doom. Is another gravity well something I want? I mean, it is for the barrier. And if I have both the gravity wells and both of the black holes, I'm gonna have like a ridiculous amount of block forever. But if I do this, I have to be very careful. I basically have to stop generating dark matter unless it's absolutely necessary. And I have to exile the dark matter I have aggressively. But yeah, against Junko, the bear is going to be very helpful, I feel like. For those turns where I actually get screwed and can't do anything. Also, I should be extremely careful. Don't even think about playing Planetary Orbit on this combat. Because if I do, I'm going to have a hand of 5 free radiances and have basically one less turn. So you should keep that in mind for sure. I'm gonna lose the blue here. Black holes here, that's nice. Oh, I already have one and I don't have dark matter. That's way too risky actually. And indiscriminate ignition before rumbling, I think. There's going to be a lot of damage if I do that though. Let's block a bit more. And just more vulnerable and weak, I guess. I'm gonna actually play the astrology for the scry rather than the just drawing, because she's going to be screwing me over when I play astrology anyway for the mana, so whatever. God damn, if only this wasn't literally the first one. Okay, I guess I'm just discarding these and drawing the last one. That was the risk of playing that astrology there. It is simply how it is. And I have to accept that. So gravity well for sure. Start accumulating barrier. Melancholy. And honestly just distortion here is great. Even more weak and some extra damage. I feel like I really need to accelerate my pace of combat, because as soon as she starts getting the Leaders of Murderous Intent, I'm going to start dying, I'm pretty sure. At the very least I have enough block. Get rid of the Lunacy, get rid of the Dark Matter. Like, I can play 37 cards before I just actually die. Well, no, I'm exaggerating a bit, but not a lot, honestly. Yeah, I did mention I cannot play the Orbit here. Not even close. Because if my theory about the shuffling of the discard pile specifically is correct, if I do that, I'm killing myself. So just bunker down for the barrier. And do I song here? Yeah, I song here. Just keep all the barrier I can. And now that she can't screw me over with the lilies. Overwhelming blemishes. Come on, that's rude. Yeah, I have a gravity well, so I'm gonna get a dark matter anyway, so let's just exile these and get rid of the shadow. Well, hopefully the random targeting of Devour Desires still gets the appropriate cards, even if the pull hold effects didn't work. So first things first though. Warp shield here. Shooting star. This. Oh, I can't spend both on shooting star. I was basically trying to reduce this damage. Starlight maybe? Don't really want to generate more dark matter though. I guess I can just take one more damage. And now I do devour. Yeah, it doesn't even work there. I guess it probably works kind of weird. So the code for the randomization isn't catching that somehow. Yeah, next turn I'm probably just playing Abyss Nova if I can. But this turn I could just go for the Star Reactor. If Abyss Nova is the first card in my deck, I'm screwing myself a bit with this. But in literally every other case I think this is correct. So this is a 1 in 4 chance I get screwed. Motherfucker! Hint! Leftmost card is the first one in the deck. Is it just me? Am I the issue? Okay, so let's go ahead and warp shield. Why does warp shielding here generate dark matter? Oh, because I got a shooting star from the pool. Never mind, yeah. Do these so I don't get purified. Okay, so the gravity, I can set up the second gravity one next turn. And for these, some of these are useful. I'll keep the ultraviolet, I guess. And at this point I have plenty of luck, so let's get rid of the excess dark matter. The one good thing about all this is like eventually I'll have so much dark matter in play that I will just Abyss Nova for lethal immediately. For now though, it seems like it's not going to be good enough. But, you know, it does get me a slight amount of damage here. We have 3 lunacies. Okay, so the white hole is still going to give me a bit more block. So I'm not going to be taking damage, but I'm losing most of my barrier. And I believe Lilith is going to 2 damage for Purifying Light. Yep. Okay, so at this point I can play the Orbit. And I should gain, yeah, gain Philosopher's Mana off of it. And it will get me back to Abyss Nova quite fast, in fact. Cloak of Stars, well, my hand is already clogged and I can't generate both Dark Matters. And then Bunker down and get rid of 2 of these. More and more Dark Matter. What's the matter? Dark matter's the matter. And I should draw Abyss Nova soon. And it might actually be lethal with the dark matters from this. No, I got fucking weakened. God damn it. This is going to cost me 2 HP. And I'll be taking... oh, nothing. Nothing actually, thanks to the barrier from the gravity wall. Yeah, thank fuck I exiled these earlier. I'm still taking a ton of damage though. So the warp shield could have been good, except if I get the warp shield, I'll have no cards left in the deck. So yeah, I'm just gambling here, pretty sure. Cause like this is 72. Yeah, I just have to gamble. Like if to draw this, I only leave 1 here, so this would be 19 block, which is not even close. Yeah, I have to gamble here and see what I draw. A normal boundary. I'm pretty sure this is death. Okay, so this is 22, 40. The flower would be like 9, so 49, and I don't believe I have. This is 6 heat, and wait, I don't have the ignition. I haven't found it yet apparently. Because this is 10 barrier, 8 block, so 18, 26. 57. So if I get like close to 20 block, I'm technically alive. Which this isn't going to be good enough because I'm going to lose 2 life per the thing, I'm pretty sure. But let's go ahead and try anyway. Pretty sure I'm dead, yeah. $69 total HP here. And she's dealing 78. Honestly, Utsuho, I love you, but this is rather exhausting to play because of how insanely complicated she is. So you're probably gonna be watching this video if you watch my videos, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna post this and let Utsuho rest for a while. I've had enough complexity for now. I don't... like, believe me, this is fun, but it's also so tiring. Run was pretty good though, honestly. I noticed so many mistakes I made just as soon as I made them. The start reactor was completely god-awful pretty much the entire run. The crossfeed plan went out the window on Act 2. Yeah, we just ended up having like a complete mess of a run. Honestly, it was fun anyway. Even after losing here, I really enjoyed this. I hope I actually get good enough at her to be able to enjoy her for more than a few games in a row. Eventually. There were also like a lot of interactions that felt weird to me, but you know, that could easily be bugs just as easily as it could be me not understanding what's going on. I did notice, like, in some of the planetary orbit things, I did like ignore like half of these are just practice runs, and the other coverage you can actually ignore half of these. Half of these are runs you didn't see though. I will tell you that, because I tried to record them and didn't go well. If you watch my videos, you'll know this one. Is this the one? I can't. Was it? No, this isn't the one either. Was this the one? I think this is the one that. Yeah, this is the one that died to Reimu. Oh, by the way, Mega forgot the art. I think this is just her. Like, it's based on her Danmaku patterns on the game where she's a boss and she actually uses the clock art. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the run that I died on Reimu on the last video. This was just practice run to check something quickly, and then this was my previous recording attempt, and this is where we are currently at. Yeah, that was not too bad, honestly. Sad that we actually managed to die to the Act 3 boss, so technically this isn't even an incident resolved, but you know, I think that's gonna be good enough for me now. For now. Hopefully, next video I intend to do 99% for sure Yomu. I'm a lot more used to Yomu, and she's a bit simpler, so hopefully it won't be quite as complicated to show off a win for her. But yeah, as you can see, like, I haven't been playing the character even close to optimally, and there have been like a few weird interactions with like bar desires and stuff. So yeah, it all compounds a bit, you know. All in all, if you found what I did like even remotely interesting, I do think I can recommend Utsuho with a clear conscience. She's extremely fun to play. If you're not a fan of complexity, okay, I will say like maybe she's not the character for you, but I would still give her a try for reference. Just maybe drop the difficulty down a notch from what you usually play. But if you're a fan of complex characters with like 100 different possible lines for each turn, where every single like brain cells you put in actually gets rewarded, like, I do recommend playing her. She's an extremely complex character that has a ton of play. I do have to figure out how some cards work still, like Planetary Orbit doesn't shuffle, but it leaves the cards in an order I'm not sure about. Things like that, but yeah. Absolutely, if you're the 5-head type of player that just likes to plan out their every single action to end up getting the perfect result, it's the character for you. 100% for sure. Sadly, we did get the blanket, but we never even saw a single copy of the help me remember Satori-sama. Yeah, that's actually one of the things I mentioned. Like, I was actually on the, just for reference, I could still be wrong about this, but I was on the side that defended this card, and I say defended is like, it's not like it was attacked. Like, we had what I honestly consider a completely reasonable discussion about possible play patterns, which is very healthy on the modding scene. But yeah, the point is, for the, just in case you didn't watch my like short video about the failed Utsuho run, we had a small discussion about this card, because if you have 2 copies of this and some cards that give you mana, like the splashes or the basically the neutral cards that cost 0, exile themselves and give you 2 mana of their color, that are generally generated by other things. The idea is like, you can just have this, grab the mana cards and another copy of the card, assuming you have 2 copies, and basically the copies grab each other at the same time as you're grabbing the mana cards, and you go infinite. And the problem isn't that you go infinite per se. You can go infinite in a lot of ways in this game. The actual problem, however, is that if you go infinite in that way, you have infinite access to cards in your exile pile, and that means, yeah, cards like, you know, Trick of Wick Hermit. So eventually you just upgrade 1 card for each enemy that you find in the game. You have access to cards that heal you, so you can actually just stall the game forever and just heal to full every encounter. There's cards that give you money, there's cards that give you power, and a lot of the balance levers on those are like the fact that they excel themselves. So something like this isn't just that it lets you go infinite when you actually use it, but rather that, you know, it can break meta scaling in the game. Like, you go into one combat, and if you have that combo and you got like the money shower on Act 1, suddenly you have literally infinite money. So yeah, that is why the card can be a problem in that way. But the thing is, from my perspective, I don't know if you've noticed, but Red Black Utsuho doesn't exactly have a lot of ways to copy cards. So you're not gonna have an easy time finding copies of like 2 copies of the same off-color rare. And if you want to find like the neutral copy, where is it? Lost in Paradise. Neutral. Yeah, where's here? Lost in Paradise requires 2 blue, so you actually have to find 2 blue mana. So yeah, the point I'm making is like, I thought like it was such an unlikely event that, you know, if it happens to someone, just let them have fun with the infinite money and stuff. Let them just have a 1 run because they found basically Exodia. You have to find 2 copies of this, you have to find something that gives you blue mana, something that gives you black mana, or maybe you just get a rainbow ritual, that's also okay. And yeah, I just thought it was so unlikely that it was probably fine. But yeah, I did get convinced in the end that breaking metascaling could easily just be a dangerous part of the game, but you know, if it happens so little that it's basically just like something for the players who wanted to have fun, like every once in like a million runs, I'd say just let them enjoy it. But maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like with how little card generation and other stuff Utsuho has, I don't think you have to worry about this. But yeah, I still think she's a great fun character. Just mentally takes a lot out of you to play because of how complex and weird to work around she is sometimes. But definitely recommend it. And well, if you've watched so far, despite the loss, that was like a Act 3 boss loss, so I'm going to count this good enough to post for video and a good enough showcase. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try out Utsuho and enjoy her, because I don't feel like I did her justice. But if you're a better player than me, or you just love complex characters, you'll probably enjoy her a lot. And yeah, if you've enjoyed all of this, I hope I'll see you for our next video, where I'll likely be going through Jomu. And with that, see you next time.